At this point, apart from the mild discomfort and confinement, we were still just a group of guys on an adventure. This was about to change dramatically. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Drip Podcast. Today, you've got myself, Lozzie, Bailey, and Scott. And we are going to be looking at urban explorations that have either gone wrong or they have found something that they really, really wish they hadn't. So that's going to be the topic of today. It's quite fun. I got them from the Urban Exploration Reddit / the Reddit. I think it's called Let's Not Meet. So there's some pretty funky ones on there. But before we get into that, how is everyone? Bailey, you've just come back from holiday, haven't you?
I have. I went to Spain for a couple of days. Not a full-length holiday, just a cheeky little weekend getaway to Spain.
Nice.
Fell asleep in a rubber ring on the last day, burnt the shit out of my shoulders. We move. That's how it happens. Do you know what I mean?
So are you in pain right now?
No, it's all right. It's calmed down now. I've been applying after sun. So
nice.
It's been all right.
Excellent. But you had a nice time, yeah?
Yeah, it was nice.
Good. Scott, are you all right?
Yeah, all good. Nothing new. Haven't been anywhere nice.
Fair
That's
enough.
about
I failed to believe that, Scott, because every single time we speak, it's like, look at this interesting place that I've been. It's like, literally, I swear you're literally the most well-travelled man around the country.
Not this weeks,
Shame.
since whenever we recorded last.
Since last week, you mean? Obviously, Scott. Fucking
Yes.
hell. Although I'm pretty sure we literally did record last week. Yeah,
I think we did.
Lozzie, how are you doing, mate?
All right, mate. I'm just slamming it in Great Yarmouth. You know what I mean?
There we go. That's it.
That's it. Fun
Love
fact:
it.
just let everyone know what sort of place Yarmouth is. Down the alleyway of next to where I work, someone has decided to take a shit.
There you go.
That's the place that we live. Well, I say we. It's actually just me because none of you actually live that close by.
Yeah.
But yeah,
there we go.
That's it.
That's it.
I mean, that's the thing. You get alleyway in Great Yarmouth, mate. It's not going well. You know.
It's not. They had the courtesy to at least.
I honestly thought you were going to say you found a corpse, so that's where that's where I thought
Yeah.
we'd go.
Yeah. Next level is the corpse next to the shit.
Yeah. The shit actually belonged to the corpse next to it.
Yeah. Bailey, are you able to turn your mic up a little bit or sit a little closer? I don't know if we're really loud. There we go. That's wonderful.
There we go.
That's wonderful. So I shouldn't really say this because I know that we're ahead on podcasts. So by the time this goes out, the exploration will be out.
Oy.
But I am really enjoying the edit. I'm taking it at my own pace. I'm actually doing it on my lunch breaks at work, which is quite fun. Nice way to break up the day. And it's sort of like then within my working day, which is great. But yeah, really enjoying it. Really excited for you guys to see it, and really looking forward to the next one, to be honest. Which I believe we will be doing very soon. So we need to discuss that. We need to get that booked in. We know where we're going. It's another abandoned one, scary, which ties into today. Although the things that we're about to read, I hope that we don't encounter. But yeah, so look forward to that. And then next month in August, we have 30 East Drive, which is absolutely huge. So happy days. Right. Okay. I think now is the time to have a look at some of these. So, would you like a short one or a long one to start?
Go for a long one.
Go for a long one to start, yeah?
Go for a long boy.
Okay. All right. Let's start with this one then. Let's start with, and I found this one in the comments of the other one. So a guy was like, "Oh, has anyone? What's that one about a bridge that someone posted years ago?" So I was like, "Oh, it's going to be juicy." Then I looked in his comments on Reddit and found someone linked it. Right, this is from no, 12 years ago. This is called The Bridge, right? This was going to be short, but the memory sprung into my mind a couple of days back, and I thought it would be worth sharing. I live in North Wales, UK. For anyone who has had the pleasure of visiting, it is truly a beautiful place to live, though for an adolescent boy, it is certainly lacking in things to do. As a result, my friends and I would often find ourselves mindlessly exploring areas of countrysides and coastlines. Despite it being uh, Despite it being quite sparsely populated, in comparison to the closest cities, there is a dual carriageway running right along the coast from Wales into England. Also, train tracks run alongside this road for most of its course, occasionally passing overhead via a small cement bridge. Anyway, there was only one night a few years ago when about four of us randomly decided to try and explore the inside of one of these bridges. As one of the group had observed a manhole cover nearby, which we believed to be the entrance, on closer inspection, we discovered that several tools would be required in order to gain entry. Didn't know that bridges had insides to them, did you?
No.
Well, the bigger ones, I guess, yeah, but
Yeah.
no.
Well, this one does. Okay.
Jeez.
Right. So we returned with the necessary equipment and proceeded to unbolt the cover. This had to be done stealthily as the train track was right beside us. Not close enough to be of any danger, but definitely a sufficiently small distance to cause panic for any train driver, and panic usually means police. It wasn't long before we had removed the heavy steel disc and had started descending the ladder down into the structure. Once we had all safely reached the bottom, we decided to progress to the other side. At this point, we are totally confined into the narrow space that leads into the main area. If you are confused as to what the hell this bridge is supposed to be, you probably should be, because it was rather peculiar. I mean, I would have never known there was even an inside had we not found the manhole. So, as we squeeze and crouch and at one point scrape our bellies to the other side of the structure, there is a growing sense of claustrophobia between us. The distance from end to the other is surprisingly long, but by the halfway point, you can look down through narrow gaps onto the motorway below. This was actually pretty cool, which helped us calm in a strange way. That's probably the bit that would have fucked me up the most.
Yeah.
The potential plummeting down onto a motorway
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have made me go, yes, we're fine. This is
Yeah.
good.
What is the stability of this part of the bridge that was never designed to have someone walk on it?
And that drops onto a dual
Drops
carriageway.
onto a live dual carriageway. To be a teen again. At this point, apart from the mild discomfort and confinement, we were still just a group of guys on an adventure. This was about to change dramatically.
Dun, dun, dun.
There's your trailer, Loz. No more than a few meters beyond halfway, which we could tell due to the symmetry of the passageways through the bridge. One of us claimed they could see some object in the distance at the far end. Slightly hesitantly, we agreed to investigate. Bad move. I reached the end first. And let me tell you, I've never felt the same sense of dread before or since. In front of me was a single, fold-away chair positioned facing a wall. On the wall was a partially torn page from a newspaper or magazine showing a fully naked lady in an erotic position. The reason I don't just refer to it as porn is because something was different about it. I can't put my finger on it, but it seemed more sinister than sexy, if that makes any sense. More disturbingly, the eyes of the woman on display had been cut from the page,
Obviously.
removed with precision, not just hastily ripped off. The
Nice.
scene that lay before us had rendered us completely speechless, and an overpowering sense of panic could be felt collectively. That was when we found the condom.
Oh no.
The horrendous, gut-wrenching, blood-drenched
Oh,
condom.
fucking
Right.
hell.
Is it too early in the pod to say they've just found like some demon wank cave? Because that's what they sounds like they found.
I think that's what they think they found as well. Needless to say, we got the fuck out of there as fast as humanly possible, smashing our knees and shins against the sharp cement edges that lined the path to the ladder by which we had entered. Of course, we were all praying to God that the manhole hadn't been resealed, as it was impossible to tell until you reached the ladder itself. Thankfully, the exit route was clear, and we promptly dashed as far away as our legs could carry us. I'm sure this ending comes as a disappointment to some of you reading this, as we, luckily, never bumped into the twisted individual who sits in that chair, but I must stress how radically out of the norm this was, given where I live. The reason I mentioned the population earlier was with purpose. There is easily enough people here to escape the realms of crazy country folk, yet nowhere near enough people to have someone clearly lose grip on society without somebody taking notice. For example, there was literally only one homeless man who everyone in the area knew and grew fond of, eventually resulting in a mass gathering at his funeral when he passed away. I sometimes think, though, not recently as I had more or less forgotten about that night entirely, about the person who climbs down into that bridge and navigates through the darkness to sit facing a wall and do God knows what that ends up with a condom full of blood. You honestly couldn't envision a more surreal situation. It has just come to my realization that what we unearthed that night has not once been uttered to another soul. As a naive teenager, it was the type of thing you just wanted to forget, but thinking about it, we probably should have let the police, or at least someone, know about what was down there, because it wasn't the doings of a healthy-minded individual. So there you have it. Apologies for the length. I got a little carried away as it was my first Let's Not Meet post, and I wanted to make the reading experience as similar to the reality as I could. Now I'm a few years older and hopefully a bit braver. I'm considering going down there again, accompanied, of course, to see what fucked up shit might be waiting. This could well happen in the next couple of days, and rest assured, I will 100% post an update, as I currently have no job, so time is plentiful. And then there's like a later edit where it's like, I got a few friends to go down there, but they thought we were just taking photos. So as soon as I said, let's go in, they all just ran away. But yeah, so that's the first one. That's the bridge. That just sounds like as someone who's been in abandoned buildings, that is one of those things that would just, I think just... it would just bring you dread, wouldn't it? A chair facing a wall at the end of a corridor. Ew.
Mm.
A sexually graphic piece of paper with the eyes removed.
Mm.
Brilliant. And then a bloody condom on the floor, man.
Yeah,
That's fucking dark.
I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to ask a question. Where's the blood come from? Do you know what I mean? Why is it there? Why is it there? Why has it come from? What are you doing? Don't want an answer. Rhetorical question. So, but I think
know where I hope
like
it didn't
that.
come from.
Yeah, well,
you know.
Yeah, but how's it appeared? I just don't get it. Anyway, literally the last thing I think I would ever imagine to find in an abandoned building would be that.
Yeah.
You know, homeless person, very high probability of it happening, you know.
Yeah.
Possibly even, you know, leftover residue of some illegal substances left in places. Very, again, high probability of finding it. Bloody wank cave. No, didn't ever think that would be on the list.
Did it specify, and this is a horrific question,
Scott, there was no semen.
which side of the condom the blood was on?
This is what I'm saying. That's the question. Where's the blood come from?
Like, was it in the?
I think it. Let me have a little. Let
Or
me
was it on the
retread.
outside? Because
Let's retread. Let's
also
find
I
it.
have there is a Wales Online post that has pictures of what I think is this exact tunnel.
Yes. So, so further down on this post, when he goes back, he did take photographs. So, if you could ping them to Lozzie, and I will verify or deny whether they are. As I try to answer your delightful question,
Where's the blood?
It says with a condom full of blood.
Horrific.
So
It's
how does
on
that
the
happen?
inside, baby.
How does it happen? Let us know in the comments below. How does it happen? Don't let us know. Don't
Theories in the
comment, please.
comments.
Don't
This
do that.
guy's coming blood.
There we go.
Someone had to say it, and there it is.
There it is. You know, we
Someone
was all
had to
thinking
step
it.
on that grenade,
I took it.
and that was you.
That's
Fair
Well
play.
done, Loz.
I
Fair
fucking
play.
Sam.
Hit that like button for Loz, please.
There we go.
Or if you listen on Spotify, leave us a 5-star review. Thank you so much.
You know, it makes sense.
How are we getting on with them photos? Which
I'm
the audio
just-
listeners won't give a shit about. But the visuals, see, that's the beauty of this podcast. You can watch it or you can listen to it. And let me ask you something. If you listen to it, why not give it a little watch every now and then? And if you watch it, give it a listen. Give it a listen. I'm massively into listening to podcasts at the moment, you know,
Yeah.
and also audiobooks. I'm currently, because someone brought to my attention, because I got rid of my Audible membership because I had like 30 books that I hadn't listened to yet. So I was like, I'm going to stop paying for it. I'm going to listen to them because you don't lose them.
Yeah,
You
catch
just
up.
lose any credits you have. So just spend the credits before you.
Well,
And
you-
anyway, you get audiobooks on Spotify now, Spotify Premium. So I've been listening to Fire and Blood because I'm obviously
Nice.
House of Dragons on at the minute. It's good shit.
That's
It's
it.
good shit. But yeah, spread the podcast around. I want to try and get the listens up. I want to get some more listeners. So share it around. Or if you're watching, give it a listen when you're at work or when you're running or when you're just doing some stuff. I like to listen to podcasts when I'm cutting the grass.
There you go.
Personally, bought myself a leaf blower at the weekend. Ho, ho, ho. Because
Oh,
I have an
yeah.
issue. You see, I cut my grass in the back garden. It goes over the stones. And then if you try and brush the grass off the stones, it just brushes the stones into your grass.
That's it.
So you get a blower.
That's
Problem
it. What
solved.
are we talking? We're talking battery operated blower.
It's called.
Oh, okay.
I'm
That's not
easing
bad.
myself into it. I just got myself
Yeah.
a petrol. Well, for my birthday, I got a petrol lawnmower.
Whoa.
Is it a sit-on lawnmower?
No, it's not. But
Doesn't
it
need
is
a
like
sit-on lawnmower.
180cc.
No, but I want a
fucking
sit-on lawnmower.
I'd love a sit.
Mitsubishi engine, mate.
Nice.
It's 3 times as powerful as my ped was when I was 16. That's insane.
Earth.
And it's a lawnmower. But yeah, oh, and the blower also has a sucking
Whoa.
option
Okay.
to collect the leaves and
There we go.
grass.
It's not just creating
Don't
mess.
let your minds
cleans
go
it.
where Lozzie's has, please.
I have put those photos in the WhatsApp group. I've also sent them to Lozzie on WhatsApp. So
I'll
Bring
put
them
them
up.
on the screen.
Let's have a look.
Need to
Oh,
confirm
them.
and deny.
There is something
Yes.
very terrifyingly inviting about abandoned places. This is the
Okay.
one. This
That's the bridge.
is the one. This is the bridge.
Right.
And that has an
Okay.
inside to the bridge.
It has an inside. I guess you can see it. So I guess this like chasm here or chasm.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it. What would you call it?
Channel?
Not chasm.
Maybe
Channel.
channel.
so
in the
they've
middle.
described it as an overpass on the
Yeah.
article.
So you've obviously
Okay.
got like
As opposed to a bridge.
on top, and then you got this girthy bit underneath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You got another.
I guess that's
the
just
ladder.
like drainage and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. Have you got a picture of the ladder? Because the ladder's quite interesting that I saw.
I
They're just
don't
kind of
think that was
handles
in the
going.
article.
There's just handles going like down, rather than a conventional ladder. It's like one handle to the left, then one handle to the right, in like every other going down. But yeah, what are the other
Must be like-
photographs?
Don't think there is any ones of the ladder, but I've got that one.
Yes.
What's that? Oh, is that the picture?
That is some of the paraphernalia that was found inside on a recent trip.
Right, well, that is blurred out. That should be blurred out enough for YouTube, I'd imagine.
Hopefully so.
Lodge, you might just have to blur that a little bit more,
Okay.
possibly.
Right.
What's the next one?
This.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Is that the
That's-
crawl space they had to
I
go through?
think that's the crawl space. Yeah,
Yeah.
And that's pretty
Who's
gnarly,
going to this much effort?
isn't it? What's the next one?
Pot
Pot
noodle.
noodles.
Nice. That's an old pot noodle. That
That's a
It
very
is,
old
yeah, it's
pot
a
noodle.
classic.
With
and
scissors.
a brush, scissors,
brush.
a pot noodle, and a brush. Next one.
I guess
Ooh.
that's a view
So
from.
that's where
That's
you
the
can
looking
yeah.
down onto the road that he was talking about, which makes more sense than looking down.
Yeah,
I
okay,
don't
so
know
we're not
about if
falling
you're
straight
looking
through.
down there, because that would mean that the road, the geometry there is fucked.
Yeah, I think that's looking out through a window in the
That's looking
side
at-
as
yeah,
opposed to.
yeah. Next one.
I mean, that's.
Oh, that's the
chair.
chair.
That's the chair.
There you go.
That's the chair.
It's still there. Nice.
So there we go. I mean, I
see,
personally didn't doubt this story at all, but that verifies it. There is,
I mean-
there's at least a chair.
If it is the same chair, which we're kind of accepting it is, that's awfully close to the wall. You know, that's like, in my mind, that's insanely close.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, if that was the picture, it was a very small picture.
True,
So he
yeah.
has to
But
get
the
close.
other thing is,
Eyesight's not the best.
you're saying that's insanely close to the wall. What sane person
Yeah, I mean,
does
if
what
we're going to be
this
asking
story
questions
is
about
about?
sanity.
So it actually makes perfect sense. I actually think the chair should be closer,
Yeah, if anything.
going off of logic.
Well, then
or
he's
lack
not gonna be able
thereof.
to get, unless he's got a micro penis. He ain't gonna be able to
Oh, you're going
on
that
me.
route.
get. Yeah,
Right.
and he's gonna be like this. You know what I mean,
Audio
Right,
listeners.
for all the
Please
viewers
give that
and
a watch.
listeners of a non-vulgar nature, I do apologise. I apologise profusely for the current topic.
It's not
Do we have
our
any
fault.
young
It's
viewers?
the bridge
Oh,
pervert's fault.
There's a knife.
That's a knife. That's never pleasant.
The
That
Wow.
was
blood-
also
Where
apparently
you are,
found
that's
on a
not-
recent trip.
I mean, as someone and 3 or 4 of us who have discovered a knife in a fucking tree where we were stood, finding a knife is never nice, you know? Finding a
No.
knife is never nice. But there we go. Yeah, I can confirm this is the bridge because in the picture with the poster, it's in the poster of this story. He is stood next to that bridge. He stood at the manhole. He does show the ladder down. But yeah, so that was the bridge. Okay. Excuse me. As always, I'm drinking a fizzy drink on the podcast, and every single time I say I'm not going to do it again. Right. This is quite a common theme. The start of each one. I'm not an urban explorer, but my old friend's dad lived in a converted mental asylum. It was huge and really cheap, so I guess that's why he lived there. Didn't need to say that bit, but fair enough. Only problem was they'd only converted half of it, and the other half had been cordoned off. So I'm going to read that again, because I might make shorts out of these, and I don't want it to come across as messy. Only problem was they'd only converted half of it, and the other half had been cordoned off and had been left exactly the same as it was when it was shut down. One day, my friend was having a sleepover, and of course, we all decided to explore the creepy part of the hospital. These are the things that we found. One baby shoe in the bottom of a woman's locker. A toilet filled with what looked like bloodstains. A
Nice.
shed that was once used for electroshock therapy, I assume. It had a wooden bench with leather cuffs and ankle restraints, and heaps of plugs all over the walls. Even creepier was it looked like scratch marks had torn through the layers of wallpaper on the walls. Bonus, literally says bonus. Bonus, this family's kitchen was in the old surgery room. The surgery sign was still on the door, and the room had this weird smell that never, ever went away. It was such a nauseating smell, but I can't really explain it. It was like a mix of chemicals and that gross fridge smell that fridges get if you let food/meat go off.
Decay.
Sorry. No, that made me laugh. That strange fridge smell that fridges get.
Yeah,
what was
as
going to be
opposed
at the end of that sentence?
Yeah, as opposed to like, that strange fridge smell that washing machines get. What do you mean?
Yeah. I hate
But
when
yeah,
my
pretty
fucking
cool.
dishwasher smells
Kind
like a
of-
fridge.
Pretty cool though. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Lincoln Asylum, because obviously that was
Yeah.
converted into houses, and the other half was still there, and I believe is still like that. That could be worth a retread. But yeah, so what do we think about the things they discovered? Baby's shoe, pretty creepy.
Yeah, it's a weird combination of things. Like leaving behind one baby shoe is odd. If you leave the pair, you've just decided you don't want them. But leaving just one
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
weird.
I think it was all kind of stuff you'd expect to find
Yeah,
in an
blood stains in
asylum.
the toilet.
Mate, I'm not being funny.
Yeah, I know.
We have seen some fucking vile stuff in toilets in abandoned places.
Yeah, that one that me and you went into. It's just
I
stacked
don't
to
know.
the
I don't
brim.
even know what it was. I couldn't even tell you what was in that toilet.
Absolutely horrendous, man.
No idea.
So was it? It weren't shit. Is that what?
Well,
We don't know.
with a mixture of
Yeah.
half the building as well, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe the other shoe. Who knows?
That's it.
Yeah.
Imagine your kitchen being an old surgery.
I mean, yeah.
That's
And also
weird.
having a vulgar, nauseating smell. You have to cook in there.
Yeah. I don't
That's
really
pretty rough.
fancy having my kitchen in an operating theatre, to be honest.
No.
If I can help it, no, I'd avoid.
I mean, I wouldn't mind the kitchen the size of an operating theatre, but
Yeah.
actually an operating, no, probably not. Not for me.
Yeah, strange choice.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean,
Yeah,
for
very
you,
much so. So another, not an urban explorer. All right.
There we go.
I'm not being funny. Like, if you just go in an abandoned building, doesn't that technically just make you one instantly? Because it's
yeah.
what you're doing. It's
It's
like you go
literally it.
play golf. You're golfing, therefore, in that moment, you're a golfer. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you are
Not-
exploring an urban environment, you are an urban explorer. Yeah.
There you go.
there we go.
Not an urban explorer, but I was once a thrill-seeking teenager.
Same thing.
So he did
Nice.
it every weekend before he
Yes.
got his driving license. Well, no, but after he got his driving license, before he was old enough to drink. There we go. Continue.
That's it. We went into an abandoned building that was basically just the shell and floors, and it was pretty dark. We wanted to smoke on the roof, but on the
Gosh.
last floor before the roof, there was a random man kind of walking around in circles. He shouted when he saw us and then started picking up things and throwing them. Not at us, though, just in general. Picking them up with both hands and flinging things around, screaming. We were too scared to come down from the roof in case he was near the stairs. After a couple of hours sitting up there, we figured he was gone and peaced out.
A couple of hours.
Imagine that you get fucking stuck on a roof of an
cou-
abandoned building which probably isn't stable. And you've got some absolute guy off his Swede just fucking launching shit and screaming in circles directly beneath you. I would probably start asking questions of what the fuck we're doing for for fun.
I'd question the dealer
Yeah,
straight away. So
That's
what?
it.
Have you, what's this?
he thought he was getting MDMA. He's giving him fucking bath salts. But then that's an issue because the guy beneath you is a zombie that wants to eat you for at least I don't know how long bath salts last. Never taken them, but a while, I'd imagine.
Yeah. The question is,
Mm-hmm.
put yourself in the situation. How you handling it? What you doing? You know, we go. Let's say, for instance, we went. You know, when we went to the asylum in Lincoln, right? And we went into the hall where they done all the plays and that, and we decided to go up into the fucking gantry above, and then there's just some crackhead at the bottom of the fucking stairs. What are you doing?
Ah,
What
man.
do you do?
I think you got to charge him.
You've got to drop kick him and just hope for the best, I think.
Move,
Well,
please.
the issue with drop kicking is the chances of winding yourself when you land on
Yeah.
shrapnel and debris on the floor.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we need to stay on our feet here, because obviously, you know, I'd love to get him on the ground as a jiu-jitsu connoisseur.
Yeah.
I'd love
We
to
just-
go for the rear naked choke, but you don't know what sort of syringes are on the floor, you know? So I'm staying on my feet.
You can
Roundhouse
bad
still
kick.
shout.
start kick him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always a good option. But
Yeah.
then my question
But
is,
also, is there a
right,
way of doing this without assaulting him?
No.
no.
He's good at
Give,
it.
give him your baggie as well. And
You
just
gotta
run.
think.
I saw him.
We've got crazy like Spice Man, right? Just
Yeah.
flailing around. You throw a kick, he catches your leg.
Oh, shit.
Then, bosh. Then what?
Yeah.
So he's
What's
got my
happening?
leg. I'm like, oh,
He's got your leg.
So
Oh
I'm
no!
like, okay,
Then you're
well,
gonna
now
have
I'm
to
gonna
jump
have
and go
to
for the other
to
foot.
the ground.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do this, so what I do is I jump off my other foot and kick
Yeah.
him with the other foot, which will
That's
obviously end up with me on the ground, but it's had to be done.
Yeah.
But I'd also, if I'm not trying to kill the guy, which I wouldn't, all right? I would be like, "You're right, mate." Like, oh, someone's in Tasmanian Devil. Fucking hell. Do you want to calm down? And it's just like going crazy. I guess you'd maybe, if you could like block him off. So if you could have like a door between you,
Yeah.
I guess you just kind of got to barricade yourself in and just kind of wait for him to knacker himself out.
Yeah. Or just be like, listen, down there, down the hall, I saw an entire crate of bath salts, right? Down as far as you can go, shoot a left, right down the bottom, big old crate full of bath salts.
That's what I'm thinking. Rummage around your pockets, go, look, here, have this. Look, more drugs. Just throw them away from him.
Yeah.
When
But
he
we-
starts going
wait,
after them,
okay.
bolt.
However, the
No.
only flaw in that plan, Scott, is
that.
when we're doing an urban exploration, we don't have drugs
No,
on
no,
us.
we
No.
don't have drugs, but it's just like my wallet or something. I'm like, look, drugs.
Why are you giving him your wallet? No, just throw the B&M fucking receipt you've got. He's like, what
He's
drugs?
gonna know. He's gonna
He's
know.
not getting close enough to see
Yeah.
what I'm holding. He just thinks I'm holding something he wants. Frisbee.
Yeah.
Off he
Nah.
goes. Drop
Perfect.
kick him from behind.
There's always
That's it.
debris to throw back.
Yeah. But it is a concern. It is,
It
of
is.
course, a big concern.
I think the most off-putting thing about this story, other than there's like, you know, in a scenario, some sort of spice crackhead hybrid,
Mm.
the fact that he picks stuff up with both hands, unless it's
Yeah.
really heavy, that that just like to me doesn't seem menacing. But if someone
Cost the
who's
cup.
absolutely spiced to fuck starts picking up stuff with both hands,
Like a
along
Coke
with-
can.
Yeah, like-
can.
there's
Why have
absolutely
you
no
done that?
need to do this.
Yeah,
But he's
this-
doing it because he's absolutely off his nut.
This empty pack of Doritos from 2001. Ugh.
It's something that either like your granny does because she physically doesn't have like the strength to pick it up,
Hang on.
or
My number's
it's, like you say, it's
Sparky
either
Boy.
the least threatening thing
Yeah.
or the most threatening thing. There's no in between.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's tricky.
It
It's
depends on
tricky.
the strength of the person. If it's like it's either animalistic to pick stuff up with both hands and lob
Yeah.
it, or it just looks pathetic. But I just don't know which one.
Yeah, we don't know
I
what
think
he's
in
we
the
don't know what he's picking
setting,
up.
I think you're going to think this guy's an animalistic psychopath
Yeah.
and we're in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going live on YouTube and like, this is how it ends. Fuck. You know.
That's it.
But there you go.
Charge.
What would you do? Let us know in the comments. Right, this one's an interesting one from Danny Mackerel. 8 years ago, I work as an asbestos surveyor.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Reason to be there. I regularly have to go through entire derelict buildings. One time, I had to do a survey of an old nunnery. The foundations dated back over 300 years, I think. I was going down in the basement and I found a well with a ladder going all the way down, probably about 20 feet. Descended all the way down, and there was this tiny door at the bottom. I realised this obviously wasn't a well hole. The door led to a tiny room with no lighting. Inside the room, there was a large cross similar to a crucifix with restraints on it. I can only guess as it was used for some kind of religious exorcism type shit. There was scratches on the walls. The building owner had no idea it was there.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
fucking sucks. I hadn't been noticing. Not only, obviously, I know you have PPE to absolute ends of the earth to work with asbestos, but if working with asbestos wasn't enough for you to quit your job, even though why would you take it in the first place? Finding that,
Yeah.
listen, it's been a great run. You've taken about 30 years off my life already. I can deal with the asbestos, right? I'll wear my mask. But there was probably a demon locked in that room until he opened that door. You
Ugh.
know?
I mean,
It's just not good, is it?
the thing
The
that I don't like
restraints
about
on the
that-
crucifix.
Yeah. Could you imagine? Because he said he had to go down a ladder into the well to get down to that little room. Could you
Oh, no.
imagine the feeling he must have had coming back up that ladder?
Oh, yeah. You think it's bad when you
You're
turn
going to
the
have
lights off and
the
walk
dark
upstairs, boy.
behind you, whatever's like climbing the ladder behind you, and then just as you get to the top and start peering over the well,
What I
you're going to
wanna
have
know
that
is,
thought of, I'm going to peer up and there's going to be just a circle of like demon nuns.
he said, did he say 20 feet down?
Yeah.
I think it's 30. Was it 20 or 30? I can't
20,
remember.
20 feet in the well. 20 feet down.
Okay.
So he's in the basement. Then the well went a further 20 feet down into
So-
another room.
Question. Okay. Obviously, this is a 2-person minimum exercise. Okay.
Yeah.
How you getting someone down a ladder in a well? Do you know what I mean? It's going to be like a bit menacing. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
carrying someone down. Like they're going to have to be unconscious
Yeah.
because no one in their right mind is going to just willingly let you carry him down into a fucking well dungeon.
No.
Gravity works.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Gravity
you can
does
almost
work,
down
but then there's no
into-
point sticking them on the cross. Then you've got to
Yeah,
get a
that's it.
shovel and a bucket.
Oh,
So-
mate. That's just fucking horrendous. Absolutely
Yeah.
horrendous.
Yeah.
But what we can take from that story, that's the only one that makes sense if it was to start with, I'm not an urban explorer.
Yeah, I'm not an urban. I'm a asbestos surveyor. Okay. I'm no urban explorer. I'm not making it up. I'm no urban explorer. But when I was a kid, my dad and I were walking around an abandoned school that his company was going to demolish. In the trophy case, there was a pentagram with a headless crow in the middle, surrounded by unlit candles. It looked pretty fresh too.
Fresh.
Nice little short one for you. A little fresh beheaded crow.
I mean, I guess they're not an urban explorer to an extent.
Like we said, if you're fucking walking around the abandoned
Yeah.
place, you're instantly, you know what I
But
mean?
they're kind of not doing it of their own volition. They've been taken there with their father. I'm more willing to accept them as not an urban explorer than the others that have said it.
I don't think that's the crux of the episode, Scott. But fair enough.
No, I'll give
We're
you a
not
pass
trying
for
to
this one.
deduce if these people are fucking urban explorers. I'm just saying they
Next.
seem to think they're not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this an urban explorer? No. Next one.
So
Oh,
they
that's fine,
found
isn't
a beheaded crow
Yeah.
in an,
I mean, it could be nothing. At the very least, it's a creative other person trying to scare people.
yeah.
I feel like you would have lit the candles, though. Maybe they didn't have a lighter. But I feel like you would have at least lit the candles for the potential that someone would stumble across it and they
Yeah.
were lit. The effect would just be better.
Imagine going all that way to do a sacrifice and real. Forgot my fucking lighter, boys.
I got a lighter.
Bollocks.
thing is-
fucking game over.
To just scare someone as well, acquiring a headless crow is a step.
I think you right.
No,
I
it's
think
not a
you
step.
acquire a crow
Well,
and then you
And
take
then
its head
take
off.
the head.
yeah, but I also don't know
I
how
don't-
I'd get a crow. I don't know where I would just like,
I think
find
I'd
a crow.
more
To be
likely
fair,
find a beheaded one. Than find a,
you can see this. You can see this on the Patreon. I saw a crow attacking a snake on the golf
did.
course the other day.
Yeah.
And Scott didn't know the difference between a crow and a blackbird. So if
That
you
is
were
true.
sent out to get a crow, Scott, you would probably come back with a fucking blackbird.
Come back with
Come
a
back with a
seagull.
budgie.
Literally a different fucking species of bird.
I
To
bought
be
a swan.
fair,
Does this work?
what is the difference?
Well, crows look different, but blackbirds have an orange beak, don't they? Yellowy orange beak. And crows have a fully grey black beak.
Right, suddenly
Jeez.
nobody in this thing knows that, so I no
so-
longer
whoa,
feel
whoa,
like the
whoa.
idiot.
Suddenly only I fucking know.
Well, yeah.
what's
Let's
a
not
raven
throw
then?
me in here. What?
What's a raven then? Is that a real
Big
bird?
crow.
Good question.
Big crow.
It's a big crow.
Big crow. Like an albatross to a seagull, I guess.
There you go. Thank
Jesus
you.
Anyway,
That's so Raven.
You got
Oh, yeah.
dexterity to
Blackbird.
catch trout.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
okay. See, it's got like an orange outline to the eye as well.
Yep. See?
Yeah. Okay, crow versus raven.
I just love the idea, what you said there, Scott. We're like, where are you going to find a decapitated crow? As if, like, you can't find a crow and decapitate it. It has to be, like, it's already happened. Like, there's
That
just a
is-
subspecies
even
of
if-
crow that have no heads.
That is still a lot of work to find a crow and then lop its head off.
I don't agree with lopping the heads of any crows off, let it be known. All right.
Like for a display.
And I
picture, just
agree,
to
it would
freak
be a
someone
lot.
out.
They're probably not the easiest to fucking catch. They probably just found a dead one and then just cut its head off.
Mm. To be honest, there doesn't seem to be much difference between a crow and a raven. So a raven's got more of like a hooked beak. Crow's kind of more straight. Raven's got a bit of a fucking beard going on. Crows do not. And ravens have like longer feathers at the end of their wings.
Oh.
Crows do not.
Do you know what a
No,
group?
it's not. What?
Do you know what a group of crows is called?
No.
Smack.
It's a murder of crows.
I did know that actually. I lied. I didn't. I forgot. But no.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah,
Is that
I have
just
heard that.
crows?
Think so.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's a group of ravens?
A conglomerate.
A, s- a slaughter of
A
ravens.
group of ravens is an unkindness.
An
An
unkindness
unkindness
of
of
ravens. Who
ravens.
the fuck made these up?
I don't know, but I love it.
Same guy who fucking shot the head
It's
off.
they're also apparently they're either called an unkindness or a conspiracy of ravens.
A conspiracy of
Ooh.
ravens. I
That's
tell
cool.
you who named these. The guy that was wanking in that fucking bridge dungeon.
Yeah.
Whereas a
After he
group of
just got
blackbirds-
released from the nunnery, spending a decade down in the well.
Yeah.
A group of
right.
blackbirds is called a grind.
A grind of
Grind.
Making the
blackbirds.
shit up, aren't they?
That's it.
I mean, I like it because it's a
respect-
there's
I
some
respect the
there is some
grind.
originality, but Jesus Christ.
Blazing
Um,
Force One.
Right, I tell you, should we? Oh, fuck it, we'll do them all. It's one more long one, and then a few short ones. No, there's two more long ones. So I better get on with it, hadn't I?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Oh, well, this one literally starts with okay. Okay. This is an interesting story. I tell you what, you gotta back yourself
Yeah.
to be online and be like, what you're about to read is fucking interesting. All right. And this is my story. It's not mine, but you know what I mean. This is an interesting story. Fairly close to the house I grew up in sits an abandoned elementary school. It hadn't been in operation since 1967. In 2007, my band was looking for a location to take photos, and I let them know about the school, and everyone was intrigued. We planned a little trip to scope out the place and see what it has to offer. I'd never been in the school before. I'd only heard about it. None of us knew what to expect. When we got there, the place was overrun with ivy and wildlife. Since the front door was locked, we had to climb in through a back window that was broken. We all got inside and begun to spread out to examine the area. Nothing really creepy. Just an old building that had seen its fair share of squatters and garbage dumpers. There were about 6 classrooms altogether. Some were in better shape than others. One room had a 4-foot wide, 3-foot tall pile of old roller skates. We thought that was odd. It is. There was an old nurse's station with a cabinet of medicine that had very old ointments in it. Sure, there were a few cat skeletons and dead birds, but we weren't bothered by it. Don't like how that's just a thing. I mean, I've seen a lot of dead birds in these places, but I've never seen a dead cat skeleton.
Why is it? Sure.
It kind of
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
surprise
Sure,
me.
Skeletons.
sure, there's a few dead cats. Who
Why?
doesn't kill cats? Am I right?
Uh-huh.
Serial killer is writing this. Okay, so and dead birds, but we weren't bothered by it. We even saw 2 feral kittens running around and trying to avoid us. We were pretty satisfied with the trip and were about to leave when we found a room that none of us came across yet. It looked like another classroom, but this one had a small door inside. What is it with these fucking small doors? About half the size of a normal door. We opened it and were presented with stairs going down into a dark area. We had phones and flashlights, and we soon found that it was the boiler room. Along with the standard stuff you'd find in a boiler room, there was a long corridor that seemed like it went on forever. At the end of it was nothing, just a wall, nothing else. So we decided to leave since we saw what we came to see. Right as we left the boiler room, I saw a small box on top of a plastic barrel. I opened the box, and inside was an incredibly old Polaroid camera. I thought it was cool, and I hung on to it. He robbed it. I was so excited about the find that I didn't realise that I had left the door to the boiler room open. We closed up the doors to the school to make it look like we didn't disturb anything. We got back into the van and were about to leave when I took the camera and pointed it at my guitarist, Pete, who was driving and pretended to snap a picture. Only it wasn't pretend. Not only did the flash go off, but an old Polaroid picture slowly slid out of the camera. We were shocked, to say the least. Amazed by what had just happened, we decided to take a picture of the front of the school from the van. Everything seemed fine until the next day when we went back to take the photos. What?
What?
Everything was
Oh,
fine.
they go back to take the photos for their band thing. They just
Ah,
went to
of
check it out.
course,
Scoped it.
There we go.
yes. We had brought a couple of other people with us this time. While we were giving them the tour, we decided to show them the boiler room. When we arrived at the front of the small door, we were presented with a horrible sight. The 2 kittens, who were alive and well the day before, were dead, right in front of the door that I had left open, but not just dead, rotting and crawling with maggots. The smell, I will never get that sight out of my head. However, we didn't let that stop us. We proceeded to take our photos and did our thing. Then we remembered the camera. We showed the new people the camera, and they were amazed that it still worked and that it had still working film. We showed them the photos we took with it. Everything was all right until we got to the photo of the school. We had closed up the school. I know we did. We had to, so no one would be suspicious and prevent us from visiting again. When we looked at the photo of the school again, the front door to the school was open, wide open. We just looked at the picture with our mouths open. I couldn't believe it. It seemed so unreal that I still have trouble believing it. Being the skeptic that I am, I decided to recreate the photo by taking another picture with the camera from the same vantage point. This time, the doors were closed. I can't explain anything that happened. It creeps me out to this day to think about it. Oh.
That's it.
Right.
Okay.
Could they have not closed the door and just forgot?
I mean, that's
That's
what I'm
the
reading
obvious
through.
answer, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
But
I
then
guess
did
they're
they-
so sure because they had that rationale of we need to close the door so that no one gets suspicious that it's been broken into so that we can come back again.
Didn't they start this with they couldn't get in through the door?
They did. They got in through a side door.
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
through a side window and then came out of the front door. Yeah, so
Okay.
since the front door was locked, so I guess they unlocked it from the inside.
Could have just been like a twist lock from the inside, I guess.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, I
Yeah.
would lean towards they just closed it, but not all the way. Was the door closed when they got there the next day then? Did it say that? Or did I miss it?
Don't think
I'm
it
not
said.
sure. I think they didn't mention it, so I'd assume it was closed.
Just theoretically, if they've unlocked the front door to leave through it, they wouldn't have been able to lock it again.
It could just blew open.
You could find that wind has just blown it. There was a draft when they took the picture and
Yeah.
the door had blown open.
Potentially. But this is sort of
think-
like the first one. Well, not the first one, but the one that we've had that is very paranormal.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The cats are weird. The kittens.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, would they start rotting that quick?
I guess it depends on if there's flies and stuff in the area. I don't know.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I suppose that the heat as well would play a part, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a weird one.
It
Yeah,
is.
very
It most definitely
strange.
is. Yeah.
What killed the kittens?
And why was the door open?
And why? Yeah, interesting one.
Okay. We're now going to not quick fire the short ones, but I think we only. Oh, no, I do have another long one. We'll go through some short ones, okay? Okay, so Trouble Hunter, 8 years ago. Now, can you guess how this is going to start?
I'm not an urban explorer.
I'm not an urban explorer, but I've worked in
Bang.
property management for a while. And one of the properties I managed was an old abandoned bank/office building. It had 2 elevators, but one of them worked, the other didn't. Once, whilst doing a routine safety inspection, I got on the elevator in the basement and pressed floor 12, which was the top floor. The elevator stopped on floor 3. The doors opened, a cool breeze blew in, the doors closed, the elevator continued to the top floor. I swear a fucking ghost joined me in the elevator.
That's a bit rank, isn't it?
Yeah.
That would suck.
That would freak me the fuck out.
Yeah, because not only like, okay, yeah, you get a cold breeze blowing into the lift with you, but what made it stop
Yeah,
on the third floor?
Exactly, yeah.
I've had that in a hotel before where going up to the top floor for my room, it stopped on like the 4th floor. And then the doors opened and all the lights were off, all the motion lights were off in the
Oh.
corridor, and it's like, what's done that then? Why is that? Why are we here?
Oh, that's fucking
And
horrible.
that was immediately a nope, going back in the lift, pressing the button, close the door.
Yeah,
I want to go to my room now.
that's horrible. I
But
mean,
yeah.
for this woman as well, the horrible thing is she has to come back down and go past floor 3.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That would suck. I might take the stairs. No, I
Something
wouldn't.
tells me that
No, the
floor
stairs are
3 was
worse.
left out of the safety
Yeah,
walk or whatever she was doing.
yeah, innit? Fuck that.
And again, whatever was on floor 3 might have got in the lift with her, so that might be the safest floor.
Valid point, to be fair.
Yeah.
Hmm,
Ghostless floor.
Creepy.
yeah.
Creepy,
Not a fan.
creepy. Cabacho. Northwest of Los Angeles, there is an old abandoned missile silo. I think it's a missile silo, at least. The hatches used to be open about 10 years ago when I first went. One day, a buddy and I went down into the hatch and went exploring. The first scary thing we encountered were tons of rattlesnakes. We found a stairwell and continued down into the pitch black darkness with our dinky flashlights. I think we got about 2 stories down and came across a long corridor. We kept moving forward, and from around a corner, a ghost white figure popped out. We immediately froze. The beam from the light showed us the figure's legs. We raised the light and eventually saw its face. It was a mannequin. At this point, we said, fuck this, and left. Now, to be fair to him, have you ever, and I haven't had it really happen since I was like a kid, but have you ever had it where you've been put into such a state of dread that you just freak the fuck out? And I feel like in that moment, they obviously thought like, oh my God, we're witnessing a ghost. What the actual fuck? And then their brain's probably going into meltdown. And then even though it's just a mannequin, they're just locked in such a state of fear that they're just like, this was just a shit idea. Why are we doing this? Let's bounce.
Yeah.
So I can totally understand the rationale of what they've done there. Would you agree?
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, I suppose if you did like get to that state of mind, or lack of state of mind, because you don't really know what
Yeah.
the fuck's going on. I've never personally had that, so I can't really attest to how fragile your
You're a
existence.
fearless man.
That's it.
You fear no ghoul, no ghost, no beast, no man, no mannequin.
That's it. I'd probably
fair.
just drop it just in case.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
absolutely kick shit out of it. Make sure everything's all right.
Mannequins just are creepy anyway.
Yeah,
like,
mannequins
Yeah.
are very
do you know what I mean? They just are rank. They're just walking around just like a retail store, and I'm just like, you better fucking not move. I swear to God. I'll beat you with your own arm, boy.
That's it.
No
Right.
mannequins safe.
No,
Not when Bailey's around.
that's it. I will dismantle a mannequin and beat him with his own limbs. Hate
That's the
them.
way.
That's a threat. That's a promise.
Yeah, it's a promise.
Yeah.
It's the way it
We're
needs to be.
Did they have mannequins? Weren't there mannequins in Hatbooker?
Yeah, they're like
I want to say, didn't we have the gas
in
mask
the,
on one
in
at
the
one
Yeah,
war room.
well,
Yeah,
No, I had a gas mask on.
You had one on, but then I think after we took it off, we put it on the mannequin.
I want to say there was. I kind of remember like a dummy kind
Like a
of
dude-
thing.
Yeah.
There's definitely like a
Dummy doodah.
skeleton or something in there. I know.
Yeah, in the thingy room.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The dregs. Right, we've got one long one, or longish one, and a short one to finish. Okay. Right, here we go. Childhood, 8 years ago. I've posted this before, but here we go. Every once in a while, I'll go urban exploring with one of my friends. Usually, he just
Get
checks
in.
out. Yeah, see, they embrace it.
that's it. Here for it.
Usually, he just checks out abandoned houses and the odd factory or two. It could be a really cool experience for anyone who is into history or photography or asbestos inhalation. Today, though, he decided we're going to a local abandoned hospital at night with just the two of us because it'll be more intense that way, and he's evidently never seen a single horror movie in his life. Despite my mild hesitations, we end up getting to this place as it's starting to get dark. We make our way in through a window that someone has torn the boarding off of, and my friend gives his usual yell throughout the building announcing his presence so we don't startle anyone else who might be inside by saying, "We're not the cops, we're just looking around and taking some pictures." By his logic, we're doing a courtesy to anyone else exploring the building who might panic if they heard us coming otherwise. But my logic, we're announcing our presence to every homeless person in the building who might want to steal a camera from two dumb kids. Despite my fears, nothing bad happens. We make it through the building, going through multiple floors and checking out the roof last. We get a ton of cool pictures and take a look at some of the creepy ass old bathtubs and tables they left in the place. There's some really cool graffiti inside, as well as mixed in with your usual shitty tags. The whole building is pitch black except for the few spots where moonlight shines through, so we literally can only see whatever we happen to be pointing our phones at the time or by using the flash on the camera. Even though I'm still worried about being murdered, I'm glad I went and I'm less freaked out as we're making our way back to the window we came in. We get back to the room and I hop out of the window first and have my buddy pass me the camera. As I take it from him and he starts climbing out of the window, a soft voice from what sounds like just 10 feet or so inside the building says, "Wait." I look around, my friend, and can just barely see a silhouette standing in the doorway from where we entered the room. Now, I'm not proud of what happened next, but in that moment,
He
the
ran.
force with which my butthole puckered propelled me away from that building with enough forward momentum to last until I was at the edge of the property, back towards the road. My friend followed me quickly after, more so to laugh at me than out of fear. He didn't seem to be too worried about it, though. He agreed we definitely weren't going back. I know this isn't the most exciting story, but what terrified me at the time was that I was 100% sure we were alone in that building. It was dead silent apart from us. The fact that that man, question mark, waited until right as we were leaving horrified me, as it made me realize they could have been watching and following us throughout the entire building, just listening to us talk, watching us take pictures, just following us. Needless to say, I don't do too much urban exploring anymore, at least not at night, in old spooky buildings constructed prior to World War One.
That's fucking rank.
I mean,
And
that is potentially feet away from what you guys had in the I can't remember what building it was now, where you were leaving and it started to
Asylum.
sound like the entire
Oh, yeah,
building
that was the
started
Asylum.
making noise. Like
Yeah.
you were a figure away from that happening.
Yeah, literally.
I'll never
'Cause it
forget
was
my
while we were
reaction
getting
to that.
That
It
was
just
that was just awful.
no.
I just looked at you and I thought, I can't say anything because Maya is currently climbing over broken glass to get out of this window. And I don't want to acknowledge what I can hear through there. But you looking at me, the way you looked at me, it was just like, yep, I hear it too. Let's just leave.
That you two didn't fight over who went out the window next at that point.
No, I said Jordan go.
Yeah, it was very bold of him. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
And Jordan did not argue.
He was
with-
already out the window.
Jordan was already like, oh,
Jordan, you can go.
Where's he go? Jordan and I were already driving off in the car.
That's it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
I
was
just
fucking-
looked at it, I just went
yeah.
like, no, just
Literally.
go.
It was fucking horrendous.
it was
Absolutely
rank.
horrendous.
But yeah, that's kind of what I was picturing the entire time you were telling that
Yeah.
story.
I mean, there's no real way of saying where we've been to abandoned places and thought that we were alone, that we were actually 100% alone.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's no way.
There's
to
no
verify
way of
that
ever
at all.
knowing.
No,
You
the
know?
place where we went just near here with that massive ladder going into the loft with every single loft hatch open with
Yeah.
like fucking filing cabinets and shit underneath. Like there was probably people in that loft, almost certainly.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
I mean,
what
the
would
fact
you
that
say-
24 hours prior, the ladder was outside and then it was well inside the building afterwards.
I was going to say, what would you all say is the building you've been to that was most likely to have had someone else in it?
I would probably say probably the RAF base where I saw something in the window or captured something, in the window on the night vision camera.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's basically proof, I'd say, because it looks like someone's peering around the corner of the curtain. But quite possibly all of them. I mean, the thing is, you know, I guess if you're homeless, how scary abandoned buildings are kind of goes out of the window, because a scary building is probably better than being in the pissing rain and wind all night.
True.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are probably, you know, I mean, also the paper mill me and Maya went to, we literally found traces of food, etc., and beds and bedding and everything. But we went right slap bang in the middle of the day, so I guess they all went out. I
Didn't you
don't
also
know.
go
And
like,
someone a
around the
week
time someone
before
was
was
killed?
murdered
Yeah.
there. Yeah, so yeah, they're very,
No
very
guarantee in this
dangerous.
game. No guarantees.
No, exactly. Just make sure you wear a stab proof vest.
That's it.
That's all we can do. Take precautions, you know. So there you go. We have one more. We have one more, then we'll answer a question, and then we are out of here. So Vanaza, 8 years ago. Not me, but last summer, 2 Urbex guys in Hungary got in touch with a few reporters after exploring a disused chemical plant and finding half-rotted barrels leaking unknown substances, and a whole shit show started happening after. The place was operational for 140 years until closure some years ago. Tests were made. Very nasty substances like DDT, chlorobenzene, benzene were as high as 80,000 times above the legal limit in the soil. People living in the area are very likely affected. The DDT levels in eggs from the area were nearly 40 times above the limit. And now there's a huge scandal about cleaning the place up, estimated to cost over $150 million and take about 10 years. So it's probably now, just about now, being cleaned up. But imagine that, you're doing a little urban exploration and you find hazardous waste leaking into the earth.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
I wouldn't put it past it in this country.
exactly.
Leaking shit into the fucking seas. Fuck it.
That's it. That's
We
it.
pay your water bill for.
And there you go. So, thought we'd finish on not a spooky one, but
Just
an
yeah.
environmental awareness one. You know?
Yeah, not fun.
No.
I mean, I guess you have to report it.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
100%.
But then counter to that, would you get in trouble in the process of reporting it?
I think
Well, I
they'll
think
probably
you'd
let
be
you
like,
off.
look,
They'd let you off,
come
yeah.
on.
I literally, potentially just saved
Yeah,
thousands of people from
Can
dodgy
you-
eggs.
Not fucking tell me off, please. Right. Oh, right. Do we want a paranormal one?
Okay.
Or do we just want just a random question about pizza?
Oh, pizza.
Yeah?
Pizza.
I want to
Pizza.
answer this one. So this
Yeah.
is the Patreon question of the pod. If you want to ask a question, become a patron. Head over to Patreon, become a patron for as little as £1 a month. You get access to everything. But I will say, over on the Patreon, I have been doing the odd post for the free members as well, because we've got a load of free members. So basically, if you're a free member, you can see like previews of videos and things like that. But like 30 seconds and 5 minutes and things like that. But every now and then, I have been uploading some things that are available to everyone, including the free members. So, yeah, if you want to come over and join the Patreon community, there's like a chat there and all sorts of stuff and lots of behind the scenes. And especially when I'm editing things like investigations, there's lots and lots of behind the scenes stuff that goes there. Anyway, you also get to ask a question of the pod. We've got some great questions, so thank you so much. And we will save them for future episodes, I promise. But Reese Davies asks, what is all of your go-to pizzas when ordering from Domino's?
Oh,
I go for the Meteor.
that is a
Mm,
good one. That is a good one. Do rate
Beautiful
it.
pizza. That's a
is a good one. Am I allowed to look at the menu to refresh my
Of
mind?
course.
I currently am.
Right.
I mean, I don't even know if I need to.
Go on.
American Hot is a staple.
American Hot is good.
American, Hot
is
a staple.
good.
I don't know how this one's gonna go,
Oh,
but I did like the lasagna one when they had
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it was good.
Wow.
It was good.
I don't
I
think
mean,
I ever
it's
tried it.
sacrilege for anyone who's Italian and loves lasagna. I mean, I love lasagna, but that's the thing that drew me to it. I was like, what about if it's literally as good as a lasagna on a pizza? I mean,
And is it?
it was good.
And it wasn't far off.
It was good. But yeah, my staples normally Meteor and the American Hot.
Yeah.
Interchange.
Yeah. So I'll go for a hot and spicy. That's when I get one.
Nice.
And I'll swap some toppings around. You all right? I'll take off the peppers and onions, even though I do like them. I take them off. I add some chicken and I add some fresh tomatoes. It's just nice. It's just nice. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, what
Stuffed
yeah,
crust has to be done.
Yeah, it has to be
I
something.
was going to say, what crust are we going for?
Stuffed.
Yeah.
I think the double decadence.
I never tried that.
I've had it a couple of times now. It's quite good.
Okay.
Is that like
What's
the way they
double
put the
decadence?
layer of?
That's where they put the layer of cheese and herb sauce in between two thin pizza crusts.
Fucking
There you go.
Christ.
Yes.
I didn't even know
Double
that was a
decadence or
thing.
double diabetes. Jesus, fuck.
Buddhist.
It's both.
And then, obviously, their barbecue sauce is pretty good as well.
It is.
Hang on.
No,
As a
you just gotta
topping.
go for garlic and herbs. No, they don't do any other
As
sauces. do they?
as the topping, not as the separate.
Ah, you're a barbecue base man.
Yes.
That doesn't
I will
surprise me
admit-
in the fucking slightest.
I
Literally
will
doesn't
admit,
surprise
I
me.
have changed on occasion. I have changed the American hot to a barbecue base.
It's
Done.
Sometimes.
Fucking through with it.
Sometimes.
You know what? Right. No.
Don't limit yourself.
No.
Exactly.
I just want a
exactly.
pizza now.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm a simple man after that. I have chicken, I have ground beef, I have sweet corn. We're done.
They're just the sides.
It's just simple.
Give me the toppings as the sides, please.
That's it. Just
Can I have a
puzzle.
don't
portion
even
of
want the
ground
pizza, mate.
beef, please?
Yes. Unspiced.
Those are all the options. That's it.
Raw.
There
Done.
you go. Mad. Well, there you go. Now you know our pizza flavors if we're ordering
That's
a
it.
pizza. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for joining me, guys. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the pod. Share the pod around. Come on, makes sense. Put it in your group chats and that. And yeah, give us some ideas for some episodes. We've got an urban legend one coming up. It should be really fun.
Nice.
Urban legends that turned out to be real. I was going to say it
Oof.
turned out to be free. Anyway,
That's it.
right. We'll see you again very soon. Goodbye, everyone.
See you later.
Bye.